Hi everyone, it's Cindy and welcome back to the channel. I am so excited to finally be able to share this build with you today. So today I am sharing with you a Craftsman house that would be perfect for a small family. I had, of course, the Growing Together pack in mind when I was building this, and I love how this house turned out, so I hope you do too. But oh my goodness, was this a labor of love. This house, full disclosure, I have been working on this build for like the past 2 weeks, which seems absolutely crazy. And that's not necessarily because it was a difficult build. It wasn't really, but I was really taking my time with it at first. And then, of course, we had the live stream with the sim gurus come out, and I wanted to watch that and make some content featuring the new information that we got from that. So this ended up on the back burner, and the editing took forever. And oh yeah, it's finally coming together though. So I am super excited to finally be able to release this and share it with all of you. So I hope you really enjoy it. So you can see here I am working on the exterior right now. I'm calling this a contemporary craftsman because I feel like it is a little bit more kind of modern looking than you see with most craftsman style houses. The blue stucco exterior, I think, really helps to set that contemporary vibe. And it does have a little bit of brick and stone work, like you can see here in the front. And there I pull out the roof line, so it looks a lot more craftsman style. And of course, you have the pillars there that are very typical of the craftsman as well. But it doesn't go overboard on, for example, the stone and brickwork. And I really enjoyed the landscaping that I added to this lot. I think the hollyhocks in the purples and the pinks just really pop against that beautiful blue stucco exterior. So I was super happy with that. And the little rocks that are dotted around, which you'll see here as I'm starting to do the landscaping. So I am building this house in Willow Creek. It is on the Bargain Bend lot, which is a 30 by 20 lot. However, because this is a craftsman style and it's also a really great home for a small family, and bearing in mind that Growing Together is coming out very soon, I think this lot would be perfect to put in San Sequoia as well. The gurus have said that that is a very heavily craftsman style neighborhood, so this lot should work very nicely with that style. It is available on the gallery. If you would like to download it, you can find it under my EAID or hashtag Hyggehaven. That's HYGGEHAVEN. And if you wish to have your Sims purchase this lot to live in, it is 61,356 simoleons, so a little bit over 61,000 simoleons. It's not a starter home as far as price, but certainly size-wise, it would be good either for a small existing family or for a couple who are planning on starting a family. But probably ideally they would already be financially established. But if you wanted to use it as a starter, you could, of course, either purchase it unfurnished or go in and delete out excessive furniture and then just style it a bit more simply if that was your preference. But I think it would work really well. I have made this build based on the idea that there is a couple and an existing child sim, but you could, of course, swap out the child's bedroom for a nursery, which I think many of us are going to be doing, or of course a toddler room. It is, of course, up to you. I would love to see, though, if you use this build or any of my other builds, if you would like to show me the families that you've moved in or what you've done with them, if you've gutted them and redecorated them or whatever. I would love to see that. So feel free to tag me on Twitter or Instagram. You can find me under the ID HyggehavenYT. And I would love to see what you do with the builds and sharing your families. So we're almost finished with the exterior here. We're just doing the landscaping here. I've swapped around a bunch of trees and just doing some terrain painting. Here you can see the gardens. I am so happy. I know I talked about the flowers and everything already, but I really love how this turned out. And I loved this flowering tree. The moment I placed it on the lot, I was like, yes, this is the tree for this lot. So I love that. And I struggled a little bit with what to do with the backyard, which you'll see here. I'm kind of switching the deck around a little bit. I fiddled with the stairs for a while, and I wasn't really sure what to put on the deck and for outdoor furnishings, but I keep it kind of simple. We put in like a barbecue, there's a picnic table down on the lawn, a couple of chairs just to sit outside, and then I do go in and add some monkey bars because, again, I was envisioning a child living in this house, so having an outdoor activity for them as well. But yeah, overall, it's kind of simple. I end up actually having to rearrange where the door and the windows and some of the wall decorations on the back side end up being ultimately, just because when I was doing the floor plan inside, which we'll jump to shortly, I had to do a lot of rearranging and that affected what was on the outside of the build as well. But it wasn't too severe, so it worked out in the end, which I thought was great, and just adding in a bit of terrain paint path. And I think this path worked really nicely. Sometimes I don't like how the terrain paint paths really look, but I think for this build, it looked really nice. So here we are decorating the deck here. So we've got the barbecue and the chairs that I mentioned. And there is the monkey bars going in. I ended up putting them over on this side of the house instead. And there's the picnic table. And then, yes, some wall decorations. And again, like I said, these end up getting swapped around a bit. I do add in these ivy trellis pieces, which I thought looked really nice, and just adding some outdoor lighting as well. So it's coming along, and we're almost ready to jump inside, but just a few extra features here. Love having this little bicycle. I'm so excited for children finally being able to have their own bicycles and learning how to ride bicycles. I think that is going to be super fun. And we're finally making our way to the inside. And oh my goodness, placing these stairs, oh, it was a bit of a nightmare. I cut out all the footage because honestly, it took forever to try and find something that worked. But I really like having the stairs placed where they are now. Like I said, I had to go back into the backyard and rearrange the window and the door placement, but that's all sorted out now. But I think having the stairs just off the back of the kitchen here works really nicely. And yeah, we're just into decorating the kitchen next. So I had pre-selected, as you will have seen, the counters that I wanted to use, and I've also pulled out this sofa that I wanted to use. I do, yep, right there, change the swatch over to a more mint color. And you'll see that in this build, the interior design is quite light and airy, but I'm also using a lot of really fun pops of bright color. And I think it just goes really well with that overall contemporary look to this house. And I think it's perfect for just like a fun young family, just having those bright, happy colors. And I'm using some of the accents that I end up putting in the kitchen here to decide on those color choices. So here the cabinetry is all white, but here the ceiling lights, I love these ceiling lights, and these actually are the inspiration for a lot of the colors. Certainly they were the inspiration for the chairs that I picked out for the dining space, and they also carry in the colors to the living room, which you can see is kind of an open plan anyway, which works out really well. I did remember to put a dishwasher in this build. I'm not always good about remembering to put dishwashers in my apartments and houses, but I put one in here. And you'll see I'm adding in some of the kitchen clutter now. I initially cluttered this kitchen and decorated it with the intention of having the food prep on this end table piece where the cutting boards are, because I completely forgot that your Sims cannot actually prep food on those shorter end pieces. But never fear, I realized that before uploading this to the gallery, and I have swapped that end piece out for a regular full-sized counter, and then I had to re-clutter the other counters to get everything to fit. And I don't show going back and doing that, but everything that you see here is still in the final kitchen, but I've just moved it around. Basically, I've kind of swapped the stove and the sink and moved over things so that they fit. So it wasn't that interesting, but it's all there, and your Sims will definitely be able to cook food and prep it on one of those countertops. So here you can see I've pulled out the colors from the lamp. I don't know why I placed all those chairs and then deleted them and put the exact same chairs in, but I did, so there you go. And we've also swapped out the curtains because I decided I wanted to use these pretty sheer ones from high school years. I don't think I've actually used these yet, and I wanted to. And I love the fact that I used that vase of flowers because I said when I did a recent wedding lot that I love these flowers and I never seem to use them. So I remembered that and I used them in this build. So I'm very proud of myself. And I also put up one of those family bulletin boards because, again, planning that this is going to be a house with a child and growing together. I think the Parenthood stuff pack or game pack goes really nicely. So I wanted to have a family bulletin board in there so you can have all of that fun family play features included. And now we've moved into the living room. So I played around with the layout of this living room for quite some time. First, I was thinking I would have two sofas, and then I was trying to work out how to fit the two sofas in because it's not the biggest room. And then I decided, nope, let's only have one sofa. And I really liked these armchairs in this fun orange color. I love orange. I don't think a lot of people really appreciate orange, but I like a good orange. And I also brought in a lot of pops of yellow, which you can see with these little vases here with the bookcase. Because when I was choosing a rug, I came across this rug and I decided, yes, this goes with those lights from the kitchen. It draws a lot of the same colors in. So that is where all of these color palettes are coming from. And you can see here the pastel pop kit shelves work really, really well. Now, I have to say, look at where I have placed these shelves and keep this in mind because I made such an oopsie in this build. It's absolutely insane. It's kind of embarrassing, but honestly, it's so funny. I can't be embarrassed over it. But if you're super, super observant, you might realize that there is here the master bedroom. Now, have you seen how you get into the master bedroom? Okay, there is a door on this wall, but have you seen how you get to it from the rest of the room? No? Okay, well, that makes sense because where I put those pastel pop shelves, that's probably where there's supposed to be an archway. And I did not remember to place the archway, so I decorated the entire living room and couldn't get to the rest of the house. So I fixed that later, but I thought that was absolutely hilarious. But that being said, the master bedroom, I love this room. I picked out this bed with the yellow comforter and went with a gray and yellow color scheme. And it's a bit of a taupe gray, and I think it just is so pretty. I love the bold yellow and then the soft, buttery, taupey gray colors. And I am just absolutely in love with this bedroom. And I think I have forgotten about this City Living fluffy rug for ages, but I saw it this time and I thought, this is the perfect rug for this room. And I love how this room came together. I think I would love to live in this room, quite frankly. But anyway, we are now upstairs. Now, this is the only upstairs space in this house because it is on the smaller side. So this child is super, super lucky because they have this entire top floor to themselves. This entire space is their bedroom. And I love this mint green wallpaper. And we go with a really cute bed with more mint greens and kind of this orangey red kind of color scheme. It has a little bit of pink tones to it. And so I'm just pulling out some items here that I'm going to use to decorate this space. But I think this turned out really cute. There's a whole bunch of different toys. I think it's reasonably gender neutral. And I really wanted to use these macrame curtains, but oh my goodness, they were a nightmare to place. But in the end, I just went with one on either side, and I think they have such a fun pattern to them. And I also wanted to include some skill building objects. I feel like sometimes I overlook and kind of forget the skill building objects, which is why I added a guitar into the living room downstairs. And we've got the crafting table. And here, this is the moment that I realize, hold on, how do you get from the living room into the master bedroom and the back entryway? So that's why I was downstairs twirling around going, wait, I've missed something. Yes, you've missed an entire doorway. So I do eventually go back and rearrange the layout of the living room to include a doorway so you can access the entire house, but that was an absolutely hilarious moment in this build, and I needed to include it because if you can't laugh at yourself, I mean, really, who can you laugh at? And I mean, that was just priceless. So, anyway, we're back up into the children's bedroom to finish the decorations, and we're just adding some items to the dresser here. I love this cute little, like, cat-shaped radio that, what did that come with? The little campers kit. I think that's just so cute. And, yeah, just adding a couple more toys into the shelves here, and there's a little desk if they want to do their homework. And I also added in this like Lego table, which I feel like I don't use frequently. I think just because it takes up 4 tiles, and I feel like it probably shouldn't, I guess. But yeah, we've added it in there, tucked it in, adding a couple of more curtains. Still a nightmare to place these, and it's clearly not just because there was a stairwell there, because they acted weirdly on the other side of the room as well. We also get a super cute little kitty shaped rug in here and this poof from Snowy Escape, which I think this is the first time I'm actually using that poof. And the little school bag. And oh my goodness, I am so excited about the new school bags that are coming with Growing Together. I realize that sounds a bit silly to be excited about a school bag object, particularly when it's not something that's interactive, but they are so cute looking. We also added some decals on the wall here and adding in, again, some fun colored lights because that seems to be a thing that I'm doing in this build, but hey ho, go with it, whatever works. And of course, also adding in the various night lights so your children are not scared by any monsters. And here we are back in the living room, adding access to the rest of the house. So unfortunately, we did have to get rid of the cool, funky shelves, but it did not take too much to just move things around, shift things a little bit so we could fit that archway in. And this is unfortunately the only bathroom in the house, but it is a full-size bath and it has a shower tub combo. So, if you have an infant or a toddler, you can do that. Here, I'm also making a custom sink. I was just sick and tired of using the same basin, so I've melded one of the fancier sinks. This one I think was from Jungle Adventure, and you'll see I sized it down a little bit using the tool mod, and then I just used move objects to just push it back into the counter a little bit. And you can still see there is one handle at the very, very top sticking out from that hidden sink. But it looks like it goes with the cabinetry, and I think like it really works. And I think it's just so pretty to be able to have a different basin, like a raised up basin. So I hope you really like that idea. I was really chuffed at how it turned out, and maybe that gives you inspiration for something to do with your own builds as well. And of course, we need some bathroom clutter. So a lot of this is coming from the bathroom clutter kit and just placing everything here. I am actually using the hair dryer, which I don't use very often because I know a whole bunch of people don't like the low poly count with the cord. But, we got to vary things every now and then. And I think it works. Just don't look too closely at it. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, bathroom is almost done, just repositioning that sink. I mean, look at that. Isn't that great? I love the look of that. I also love how the hardware matches that hardware on the mirror, and just popping in a couple of paintings here as well. And we're pretty much finished the bathroom. Oh yeah, we just need a bath mat. There we go. And then we're going to move into this back entranceway. So this is kind of a mismatch of a whole bunch of things. It was kind of like the odd room out. So I've moved the thermostat out of there, but we are putting laundry in. So we do have a washer and a dryer, and there is a hamper in the master bedroom. I forgot to add a hamper into the child's room, but you could, of course, put an extra one in there or do away with the laundry altogether. But that side of the room was all the laundry facility. And then over on the other side, I decided to add in just a little desk here with a computer. And this is probably just kind of either the parents or just kind of the family desk and computer space here. But I do hope that you have enjoyed the build. If you do, a like would be greatly appreciated. And feel free to subscribe for more builds because there are going to be more forthcoming. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. But that is mostly it for the build. I do have a number of other houses coming, so stay tuned. But thank you so much for watching, and I will leave you with the screenshots and have a lovely day.